I have one of these insurgents, one of these terrorists that's trying to kill me and my fellow Marines on the sights at the end of my rifle. I can't even describe that feeling.
"15 insurgents dressed in U.S. Army uniforms penetrated the perimeter fence."
They were heavily armed. They already had pretty much our whole fleet on fire.
We knew that they were coming from the fence, from the wire, and they were coming over towards the hangars.
We could see that there are Marines running in all different directions. There were some pretty large fires on the flight line. Major Chambliss told me, condition 1 my rifle, meaning put a round in the chamber, get ready to fight.
Someone looked outside and it's like, we're getting attacked, and then the bullets started flying through the building.
We went over there and grabbed gear and grabbed as many weapons and flags as we can and brought them back into the bunker to give to the other Marines.
Rolled back, I could see the rounds just hit the dirt next to me. And I rolled back out, shot him a few more shots. I couldn't see really anything other than his muzzle flash.
We took a lot of small arms fire and an RPG.
We were engaged, and we were going to be fighting an unknown number of bad guys.
I work in maintenance control.
I'm a Harrier airframes mechanic.
UH-1Y crew chief.
Harrier avionics electrician.
Nothing was going to happen unless we killed these guys, and we killed them quick.
1/3 of infantry battalion is non-infantry Marines. Boot camp is there to mold them and prepare them to be Marines, make them Marines. Here we want to make them provisional riflemen.
We've got 29 days to teach what I consider are some of the most important skills that they're going to use to build upon, whether they stay in for 4 years or 20 years.
They go through a medical screening just to make sure that there's no, I guess, previous injuries that might prevent them from completing the full cycle.
Are you good to train? Love to train. No issues, no concerns?
They go through, they make sure that they hadn't had any illnesses or injuries while they were on their leave in between boot camp and here. And then they also have them go through a series of tests, mobility tests, to make sure that they don't have any injuries or anything that would hinder them or prevent them from training.
It's going to be fast-paced. They need to keep up, and I'll help them keep up. And that here they're going to be treated like adults, and they're going to be expected to act like adults, and they're going to be expected to retain the knowledge that we're given to them.
The combat instructors that I have are what I consider they are the best in their MOSs. Most all of them that I have volunteered to be here because they have skills and knowledge that they want to transfer to those students.
The combat instructor is the first leadership role that a lot of these Marines are going to encounter getting into the Marine Corps.
We want them to understand that it's a two-way street between leadership and them, not just me telling them what to do and them doing it. They have to understand the why behind something. There's days where, or events that, hey, you do this because I said, but there's other times that they need to be able to ask questions and then feed off of me as well as me feed off of them.
I'm here to mentor the students and at least give them a better understanding of how the Marine Corps works, what combat skills, mentor them on what they can do to improve their time while they're here and in the fleet.
We try to build them up and break down each event or task that we're trying to accomplish down into smaller tasks and events. So at the end, they can put all those skills together.
As far as the weapons package goes, we teach them about machine guns, we teach them about grenades, grenade launchers, different ways to manipulate that weapon system to help better set them up for success. We start with the lecture and we get them better knowledge. We roll into a demo where either myself or the other instructors within their company will give them a demonstration on what we expect. And then we'll have them do it. And we'll watch them and critique them, let them know like, hey, do this, do that. And we'll do hours of PA on each thing. And that way, by the time we do get to the performance exam, whether it be a live fire range or an exam where they're having to put together this weapon system on their own without asking any questions and function checking and everything, they're able to do that on their own without relying on us to tell them. They may not be up in the turret, for instance, but if for some reason that gunner goes down, they need to jump up there, they'll have a better understanding of how to manipulate that weapon system and how to get it back into action, how to clear it, reload it, and get back in the fight. Start getting classes on fire and movement, how to take a squad and start bounding and assault to the enemy and assault through the objective and stand by for like counterattacks. We'll take them out to the range and they'll actually be bounding together with their buddy and engaging targets the whole way.
In order for a Marine to be a basic rifleman, they have to understand the weapons and weaponeering. So we put them through the weapons package first because everything that deals with tactics has weapons involved with it. You got your tactical field care, which is just triage on the battlefield. We teach them quick response, how to set up security while somebody else is administering first aid.
Stand up, so he's off the deck.
Then we have searching, so we teach them upon coming on a unfriendly person or a non-combatant. If he comes up, we still have to treat him as a threat until we find otherwise.
4, 6, 8, 10, I think 28's like right at the end.
And then we move into land navigation. We go through formations, we go through the hand-arm signals. Then we, at the end of all that being taught, then we go into patrolling. So now they've got all the little pieces of the puzzle, and that allows, now they see the big picture, now they can hone in strictly on patrolling, and then followed up with mount, which is urban. And all urban is patrolling in a town, but there's a few more things that you have to be aware of, like a 360 degrees, threat.
You're paying attention to them.
Then we teach defense, which, with a good offense, you need a good defense. In a defense, that can be an offensive move. However, you've got a stationary defense, but you can still run patrols out of that. And we build off that when it comes to the BSREs.
BSRE is basically the basic skills retention exercise, and it's a culminating event of all the infantry skills that they learned here at Marine Combat Training. They patrol, they have reaction to IEDs, reaction to enemy contact, and it's just an incorporation of weapons and tactics into a 2-day event where they're tested on basically everything that they learned here.
You have to be able to think on the fly and you have to be able to adapt. And that's what we try to teach here. My big thing, and that I tell all of my Marines, that I've told all of them since I got here, is that the worst decision is no decision. They have to learn how to make a decision.
I train them, they understand what they have to do, and they have the buddy to the left and to the right of them to protect them, and they will come home.
There's a lot of knowledge and a lot of experience here, and we're here at MCT to give that knowledge to the students. That's why we're here.
That I try to instill in all my students that come through MCT is initiative. To take that initiative, to stand out amongst their peers and demand more responsibility.
Today's battlefield that these Marines who are non-03s need to know there's no more front line of enemy troops. It's a 360-degree battlefield now, and the enemy doesn't care if you're a cook or a admin clerk or an 03.
They're going to go out and someone else can be confident in their skills because of what I've taught them here.
At the end of the day, we want to be able to give that Marine a rifle, and he'll be able to fill the role of a provisional rifleman.
We were bounding and covering each other, and everything that we learned in MCT just fell right back in.
People think that they may not be using their tactics or anything that they learned throughout MCT, but in reality, everything can happen.
We weren't prepared for anything. We didn't expect anything. We just acted as we were trained to do. Our MCT training came out.
And everybody just dropped their wrenches, grabbed their rifles, set up security. Nobody had to tell them to do anything.
Every Marine or Rifleman, you shouldn't take it lightly. Everything you learn, you may not use it, but you don't ever think it's not going to happen to you. Just, I never thought it would happen, but it did, and all your instincts kick back in, and everything you learn, you just keep it in the back of your mind.